One of the Intermediate Baseball World Series here in Livermore. It's a 3-0 lead for South Korea.
And a very eventful first inning.
Yeah, no doubt. We had the dropped third strike that was confusing for Australia defensively. Forced to throw to first. That allowed a runner to score from third. And then the 2-run home run by Hyunjin Kim, the South Korea catcher. So now we get to the second half of the batting order for Australia. Harrison Malik is one of the extra hitters who leads things off. Says he likes to cook. Kevin, at 13 years old, were you cooking much?
Do you consider cereal cooking?
Yeah, that's it. I was cooking up Lucky Charms with, you know, a cup of 2% in there. Into the air foul, so now 2-1 to Malik.
But I do enjoy it now. And I think, you know, we talked a little bit earlier about kind of the breathing. And I think the idea that 13 years old, he enjoys cooking, I think is just telling you how far the game has advanced. That a 13-year-old understands if I can make quality food for myself, I can get big and strong and potentially live my dream.
That's an interesting point. I think you're maybe onto something there.
Because for me, really in college is when I really started, and I was away from home for the first time, but really is when I started cooking, because I started understanding if I am able to cook good food, put some muscle mass on, that I could, you know, potentially do what I ended up doing as, you know, a profession.
Yeah. A lot more attention paid to the nutrition aspect of all this, and that works its way down. Good take. Malik walks to lead things off for Australia.
That's a tough pitch to lay off as a hitter right there, but Australia has shown command of the strike zone for the entirety of this game so far.
Brings up Harvey Ingram, the center fielder. First pitch swinging, and it's 0-1. Haven't seen a lot of that out of the Australian hitters.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea as the hitter. You know, he walks the leadoff batter. You know he wants to get back in the strike zone. It's very similar to leading off the game. You know you're probably going to get a fastball. He wants to be in the strike zone.
Throw back at the runner, but Malik back to the bag.
Got to be extra careful with the left-handed pitcher on the mound right there. If you are going to steal, you just got to go. As soon as he moves, you got to go. But if you were not stealing, you got to make sure he goes home. Good adjustment right there by the base runner.
Kim gets a wave and a miss. Ingram's count now 0-2.
Very important for the young audience out there that are listening here. When you get a swing like that as a pitcher and you're 0-2, you do not need to try to make the pitch better. Just go back and repeat the same pitch. We have this tendency to want to try to do it better.
Close, but just off. Now 1-2.
That's a perfect example.
That's basically
right there.
the same pitch.
Yeah. Yeah, he just made sure that he didn't miss over the plate. If you miss a little bit off the plate right there with an 0-2 count, that's well executed right there. But he didn't try to do more. He didn't try to change the shape. He didn't try to spin it more, take anything off. He just threw a good pitch.
It's contact, and it is just foul. Tight quarters down the lines, first and third base. And not a big backstop here either. So most of it's contacted in the air in foul ground, I would say, is going to find a way to escape the field of play. And sails away 2-2.
If if you're Australia right now, too, you can't think about scoring 3 runs. You just got to continue to have good at-bats, try to get base runners on, and chip away little by little.
On the ground, weakly to second base. Lee picks up and gets the lead runner at second. Poised play by the South Korea infield.
Yeah, great play by the second baseman right there. Ball wasn't hit really hard, and he has a choice right here. Do I try to get the lead runner out? Do I go to first base? Really good job getting his body in position to make that throw to second base right there. And as a base runner there, you can't take anything for granted right there. You got to come in, slide at second base. You never know what's going to happen. The base runner almost felt like he was going to make a play to first base, but second baseman does a really good job getting his body around.
Oh, and they picked off that runner at first. New territory for Harvey Ingram, who reached on the fielder's choice. He hadn't seen the move yet. And this might be reviewed.
We're going to get our first review.
I think that is the case. Ruling on the field is that the runner was picked off and is out at first. So this is officially under review. Again, call on the field, out at first base. Another look at it.
Tough to tell from that angle right here, but we talked about the importance with a left-handed pitcher on the mound. If you're not running in that situation, which he clearly wasn't right there, your first step can't be towards the next base. You almost have to take a step back towards first base. The left-handed pitcher has the ability to make it look like he's going to go home, but come over to first base. Secondly, as a base runner, it's very important that you dive back head first into the base. It makes it much tougher on the first baseman to tag you.
This is actually not as clear as I thought it was in real time, Kevin.
That last view right there, I'm hoping for the base runner standpoint that he was able to get his foot back in there.
And this is an unofficial ruling. These are the sign guys, as they are known here in Livermore. With every review, somehow they get access to the video. Cole, Todd, and Jim have adjudicated it amongst themselves.
I'm going to get our research department to find out what their actual percentage is that they're right.
So here's another look at it, and the more we see this, Kevin, I'm starting to believe that Ingram got his foot back to the bag before a tag was applied. The throw beat him.
I'm there with you. The more that I saw it, in real time I thought he was out. The first couple replays I thought he was out. Now that I've seen it more, I do believe he gets his foot back in there. And I've been in this situation before. It is an awful feeling as a base runner. You work extremely hard to get on first base. You get picked off. It goes to review. Your heart's beating out of your chest right now. You're hoping, please, please find a way to allow me to be safe. 19 out of 22 last year for the sign guys. So I'm going against them early on in this tournament, the first challenge. You know, recent history tells you that they got a pretty high percentage of them right.
How about that within moments, Kevin? You asked, hey, unofficially, officially, whatever it may be, what's the hit percentage for these guys out here? And we got it just like that.
19 out of 22. That's pretty good. And maybe we just need to hire these guys full time, because this review is taking a little bit longer.
Yeah,
they did it really quickly, and 19 out of 22 is a pretty good percentage.
If you can hit 19 out of 22 across a large sample size and you can get it within a minute every time,
86%. I'm trying to get 19 out of 22 fairways hit when I play golf. That's my goal.
I don't know, though. This being our first encounter with the sign guys this year, I think I'm I'm calling them into question.
And if you're watching the replay right here, it's a very difficult decision for the umpire. He's blocked out by the base runner right there. You can't blame the umpire for making that call because the ball beat him there. But after review,
it's overturned. So the runner is in fact safe at first.
The runner is safe, and the sign guys are now 0-1 on the year. They have a long way to go this year to get back to 86%.
It's a long week, guys. Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it.
All right, base runner. Take a deep breath right now. Take a deep breath.
And they'll go right back to the well. Another pickoff move. Ingram back.
Don't blame him one bit for going right back over there.
It's in the dirt, and Ingram able to take second.
Baseball is a very funny game. They say it's a game of inches. Little things lead to big things lead to little things. The fact that he's ruled safe, he's now able to advance 90 feet from scoring Australia's first run of this game. We talked about in the early innings. Looked like the pitcher just slipped a little bit. He's been really good executing his pitches. It looked like he threw a changeup right there, got his spike caught a little bit, threw it a little bit short of the plate. Catcher tries to pick it.
Well, even a miss, 1-1. The other thing for the pitcher, Kim here too, Kevin, is he's not been throwing pitches consistently for the last little bit, right? Between pickoff moves, the longer review. He's kind of got to get back into a rhythm. And on the hands, a swing and a miss.
That's a really good point. You know, anytime there's a review and it kind of takes a little bit of time, it gets the pitcher out of rhythm a little bit. The fact that, sorry, I was seeing with the umpires were, I don't know if someone was on the field or they were trying to get someone down to the bullpen, but they stopped the play. But yeah, but back to your point, when you have that long break, pitchers are so much about being in rhythm, catching the ball, throwing it, maybe occasionally picking off, but he spent a lot of time picking over the bases. He had a long delay. He needs to find a way to get back into a rhythm right here.
That's his 20th pitch. It misses inside and bounces to the backstop, so Ingram from second to third, and suddenly that overturned call looms large here.
Yeah, and back to your point too, the fact that there was a little bit of a lengthy time, he didn't spend really any time trying to warm up in between innings. You could kind of just tell he's lost his rhythm a little bit. Catcher set up away, he throws it inside. It's extremely difficult for the catcher who is setting up on the outside part of the plate to have to reach all the way across home plate, make a play right there.
Now 2-2. Full count.
It'll be very interesting. You pointed out the shorter backstop right here. It's very easy to advance from first to second, second to third, but as there's a runner at third base, the fact that there's not a lot of room behind the catcher to the backstop, it's going to be a tough decision on a base runner at third base to go or not to go.
Reaching swing and a miss, and Flynn Dino is retired for out number 2.
Hey, good battle, man.
Big out for South Korea right there. You have a left-on-left matchup. Obviously a little bit more difficult for the hitter right there. Having to stay in there, seeing a ton of off-speed, just really well-executed pitch right there.
And South Korea is going to make a change on the mound with 2 away and the runner at third. That's Sung Hyun Moon coming in from left field, will be the next pitcher. And so now it's the 9th batter in the order for Australia, Will Fuller. Heads to the plate with a big opportunity, runner at third, 2 away.
Great time to drive in a run right here. First at bat of the tournament.
Wastes no time, letting it rip, and sends it foul.
There's always this tell you can have on a hitter, the way he walks up to home plate. he just screamed the guy who was ready to try to drive in a run first pitch.
I mean, no runs yet for Australia, but they've had opportunities. They've had base runners. They had 2 reach in the first, saw a lot of pitches. They've had 2 reach so far here in the second.
Yeah, and that could be a little bit of nerves. We talked about Australia first time being here. The experience that Korea has versus Australia is showing a little bit early in this game. But everything could change with one swing of the bat.
Called strike that pops away from the catcher, Kim.
Be ready for it. Come on. Hey, getting to work now. Here you go, kid. Getting to work, Will. Hey, Tanner.
Ingram, the runner at third. Fuller watches strike 3, and it retires the side. So the runner stranded at third for Australia, and we're midway through 2. Sung-Hyun Moon will lead things off for South Korea. They lead 3-0. It was 3 runs in the first for them, a leadoff double and a 2-run home run. And the first pitch from Gratton misses, low and away. It drifts over the inside half. And the count 1-1.
Yeah, for being 6'2", you would always think that there's going to be some deception, but he actually throws from a lower arm slot and has a really, really nice curveball he just showed right there.
Misses it low, 2 balls and 1 strike.
I always find it interesting when they pull a lot of these kids, they give them questionnaires. That's how we get a lot of information on them. But he says his favorite team's the Boston Red Sox. I always find it very interesting when you don't grow up in the Boston area, especially when you're an international player. How do the Boston Red Sox become your favorite team?
Bouncer over to second base. Oh, we mentioned Curtis Mead earlier. Maybe that's a quickly scribbled out and changed answer on the questionnaire before making the trip here.
Yeah, maybe they did it on that long plane right here after Curtis Mead got traded over.
Kang-Yul Kim now to the plate.
See, that makes a little bit more sense.
Right, the Doosan Bears,
yeah.
KBO. Squares the bunt, went after it, so it's ruled a strike, 1-1.
You talked beginning of this inning with the pitch rules. It's very important as a pitcher to be very efficient with your pitches. If you want to be able to be on that mound more than 1 inning, you got to be very efficient with your pitches.
This inside, and I should clarify, and so both of the pitchers who have thrown and exited the game for South Korea are eligible to pitch with no rest because the count is 20 or fewer. But if you go over on your last batter, then it reverts back to the number of pitches you were at.
It's when you start
before.
the batter.
Yep, it's when you start the batter is the best way to put it. Sword.
I do love that rule. It protects coaches from overusing their players, but I do love the fact that if you are efficient with your pitches, say you're at 18 or 19, they allow you to try to get out of an inning.
Now 3-2. You can just imagine formerly before that rule change too, the mid-batter pitching changes because of the exact number of pitches you're at. And it's just, you know, that's to a point where it's maybe counterintuitive. Full count outside. It's ball 4. Kim walks, 1 aboard with 1 away.
Number 17, Choi.
First plate appearance for Sojin Choi. Bratton to the plate. And it's a called strike. Spratt was ready to pop up and make a throw. And back to the bag safely.
Yeah, he had a good sizable lead right there. As a base runner, someone who stole a lot of bases, the pitcher is going to kind of dictate what you can do. Pitcher on the mound being 6'2" at 13 years old, doesn't have the quickest feet out there, so look for the base runner to expand his lead a little bit.
Kim takes off. It misses behind the batter. Kim easily takes second.
That was really good by Kim right there because he got out there early on that first pitch with this lead. He saw the pick over to first base. You have a 6'2" kid on the mound. The feet aren't super quick. He could tell that he could get a little bit more with his lead right there. I watched him take his lead. He got a couple extra steps. As soon as the pitcher picked up his leg, he took off, stole the base pretty easily.
One and one to Choi. Fouled back.
I would imagine there's a lot of advantages being 6'2" at 13 years old. But there's also some disadvantages. You grow at that rate and you're that big, your feet and your brain are so far apart that it's hard to connect them a little bit. You have a little bit slower feet, but you could tell how big and strong he is, the arm speed that he has.
Give and take for sure. With 2 strikes, he bounces it across. Spratt stops it in front of him, but Kim able to move to third.
Really good job by the catcher right there, putting his body in front, getting down in the dirt, blocking that ball. There's really not much he could do right there. Just really good read by Kim at second base. When you're a runner at second base and you're not stealing, what you are looking for is that downward angle towards the dirt. And when you see it, you got to have confidence to take off.
Breaking ball drops in, and it's a called strike 3.
We talk about a game of adjustments. It's not just for the players, it's for the umpire as well too. A much more emphatic call right there. Really well executed pitch right there. We talked about his ability to spin the ball. And can we go back on that replay right there? Because he has got a very interesting grip on that curveball. His entire hand is on that ball, and I think that's how he's able to take so much speed off that pitch. It's a very unique pitch. It's not something you see a ton of Major League Baseball players do. I think there was a guy in the WBC that you could see his entire hand is on the ball. Typically with a curveball, you're going to have your thumb underneath the ball and maybe 2 other fingers on the ball. The fact he has all 4 fingers or all 5 fingers on the ball, it's almost like a changeup and a curveball combination.
What do you call that? A churve?
Not quite the churve. There was a guy, and I'll have to look it up on the commercial break. There was a player who actually struck out Shohei in the WBC from Australia. He was like a 38-year-old electrician, and he threw that pitch. But it was so slow, it wasn't something Shohei had ever seen before. So maybe it's something that they teach in Australia, especially if maybe your hands aren't as big on the baseball, to have a little bit more control. But a very unique grip on the ball. Obviously very effective in the ability to spin the ball, but also change the speed of the baseball.
Seung-Hook Kim now with 2 strikes. He fought off 1. Another 0-2. The breaking ball inside corner, strike 3.
There we go. We talked about that unique grip on the baseball right there. The ability to slow it down and throw it where he wants. Beautifully executed pitch right there for a called strike looking.
It's the bottom of their order, hitters 10, 11, and 12 in this continuous batting order. Both teams in this case with 12 hitters today. First pitch to Angus Deere is a called strike. Chopped foul, now 0-2. Deere's favorite player is Trout.
I love that for him too. What I was thinking is, Angus Deere, there's some people that are just blessed with a great name that you know they're going places in life, and Angus Deere is one of those names.
Sky's the limit. He could do anything. Watches for ball one.
He clearly has good taste in Major League Baseball players too.
Another good take, and it's 2-2 to Deere.
You noticed a little bit of deception on the South Korean pitcher right there. Very slow and methodical with his delivery. Has a little bit of a pause at top. It's a little bit difficult for hitters to time up.
It's a swing and a miss. The throw to first is in time. And that's now 3 consecutive strikeouts for South Korea pitching. 2 of them executed by Moon.
And we talked about his slow, methodical delivery. Tough for the hitter's time, but look at the action on that. That almost looks like a split finger changeup right there. So much action, it's difficult for the catcher to receive right there. Really good job finding the ball, delivering a strike to first base for the first out.
There's a strike.
Yeah, we saw a much more patient but aggressive Australia team. I talked about kind of the deception the pitcher has right here. It looks like he's throwing the hitter's timing off a little bit. When do I get started? When is a good time for me to get my leg up? Pitchers do a really good job of changing the hitter's timing. The fact that he's really slow, he has that pause up top, you could kind of tell the hitters are trying to calculate when is it time for me to start.
Strike 3, and attack applied. It does not require a throw as a result. 3 consecutive strikeouts for Moon.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job throwing strikes, using that deception, understanding that the hitters are not seeing him really well. Sometimes when the hitters don't see you well, you just continue to pound the strike zone.
Short hop in foul ground dug up, but it is strike 1.
It's also really important when there is some deception on the mound. When you're the hitter that is coming up next, you're making sure that you're getting your timing off him. You should probably already have seen 3-4 pitches before you get into the batter's box.
Swung on and fouled away by Jack Blanton. He's got 0-2 now. 12th batter in the order for Australia, so after him it goes back up to Archie Wallace, who led off the game. Moon sends it top shelf, and it's taken 1-2.
Yeah, Moon looks like he's in total command on the mound right there. He's trying to throw to a very small spot right there, just missed it. He's okay missing with that pitch.
Another chopper, and it stops in foul ground, so it keeps it at 1-2. Yeah, these Australian hitters against Moon, if they've made contact, it's been kind of that weak, non-direct stuff that doesn't go very far in foul ground.
Yeah, and everything's been to the opposite side, which is telling you that most hitters are late on his fastball.
And with 2 strikes, there's a grounder into fair territory. Easy play at first for Kang-Min Kim to retire this side. We go to the bottom of the 3rd, still 3-0. On the mound toward the bottom of the order is extra hitters. Ji-Hoon Shin, the first of them, will lead things off. He's the starting pitcher for South Korea. Zach Gratton continues on the mound for Australia and gets a first pitch strike call. Gratton consecutive punch outs to get out of the 2nd inning. Swung on and missed, 0-2. Pushed inside.
Not exactly where you wanted that pitch, but if you're going to miss 0-2, you got to miss off the plate. You can't miss over the plate.
On the ground, weak third base side, scoop and throw. Blanton gets the first out, the third baseman.
Yeah, great job by the pitcher. Continue to throw strikes. Don't be afraid to pitch to contact. And a really good job by the third baseman coming in to get that slow hit ball on this thicker grass right there. Aggressively charges it, makes a great throw to first base.
One and 0 to Jung-An Kim. First plate appearance for Kim, but we did see him on the mound earlier. Slight delay, some direction being given to one of the dugouts. And we resume. Hard on the ground, over to first. Harding makes the play. So a couple of ground balls, a couple of quick outs.
Once again, continue to be effective in the strike zone. Allow the other team to put the ball in play. Trust your defense behind you.
Now it's back to the top of the order for South Korea. Young In Cho led the game off with a double in the first. He scored on that confusing called strike 3 throw to first play. And he watches his first pitch here outside 1-0.
I think it's important to point out, too, we've had a lot of pitching changes where they do want to keep their guy eligible to come back and pitch tomorrow. Doesn't mean you have to take a guy out with 20 pitches. The way that he's been pitching right now, getting a lot of quality outs early in counts, you allow him to throw 30, 40, 50 pitches, and then you just kind of figure out the rest of the pitching plan as you advance in this tournament.
2-0 to Cho.
I think if you're Australia, too, knowing you're facing a team in South Korea that's been here 9 consecutive years, that always has a ton of success in this tournament, your first time, if you're in the 3rd inning down 3-0 right now, I think you love where you're at.
And a timeout after the swing and miss here.
Swinging the wrong bat.
Oh, okay. That must. Yeah, okay. All right.
You know how many times after the fact, I said I was swinging the wrong bat, and I would just blame it on the bat.
Took that big cut. Cho said, hey, something's not right.
Yeah, it was a little heavy.
Yeah. Now 2-1. Breaking ball just inside. He's gotten that to drop in on the inside corner a lot today.
Yeah, it's such a good, unique pitch that he has right there. For him being 6'2", he doesn't necessarily use his height to his advantage from a higher release point. He does have a little bit lower slot, but that lower slot allows him to be very effective with, I guess we're going to call it a curveball.
Yeah. You didn't like my churve suggestion, so.
No, a churve. Churve is great. I happen to play with a guy who threw a churve, and it was a slightly different grip, but we'll go with churve.
Yeah, it's a variation of it. 3-2 to Cho. Ball 4. Cho reaches for the second time in as many appearances at the plate today. Now South Korea will try their hand at a 2-out rally.
Meeting on the mound right here. I think, obviously, I've played for a long time. I'm now retired. You learn a lot of things through experience of playing, and they're still young enough where you're going to learn certain things and certain counts and what you're supposed to do. Right there, him going to a curveball right there, 3-2, 2 outs, no one on base. That is a very important time where you have to trust your fastball command and just force the hitter to have to swing the bat. Trust your defense right there. Not every pitch can be a strikeout pitch. Sometimes you have to just say, you know what? I'm going to allow him to put it ball in play. I got 8 guys behind me that are going to help me out. And maybe that's what the pitching coach or the head coach comes out right there and goes, trust your stuff. Trust the defense behind you. You haven't done this inning by yourself. You've gotten 2 ground balls. Continue to be in the strike zone.
Taken by Kang-min Kim. He hit a ground ball to first his first time up in the first inning. Bratton steps off the backside, throws to first, put the runner back in time.
So right now, pitcher, catcher, you have a decision right now. The base runner kind of tipped his hand a little bit. When his first move is towards second base, he's letting everyone know that he's thinking about stealing.
Pitch misses inside. Spratt got a piece of it with the glove, but can't pull it in, so the runner goes to second anyway.
And look, the result wasn't there, but the thought process, the adjustment by the pitcher was there. The fact that he went to a slide step and not the high leg kick lets you know that he understands what he saw when he picked over there. Did he execute the pitch? No. But was his thought process right? Absolutely.
Kim takes outside, 3-0.
Here's another important thing too. Right now you have a runner at second base with 2 outs. Your focus needs to be on the batter. You have to believe in your ability to get this hitter out right now. Even if he steals third base, he can't score unless the guy gets a hit. So right now you have to bear down, throw strikes, worry a little bit less about the runner at second base. Allow your middle infielders to kind of keep the base runner close. Focus on your catcher's glove, execute pitches right here. The runner at second base doesn't matter.
That was pitch number 35 for Gratton. He gets a bouncer over the middle to second base. Throw from Guynelt is there in time at first to retire the side. Runner stranded, still 3-0. South Korea leads through 3. The Australian order beginning with Archie Wallace. 0 for 1 with a fly ball to center, and now an 0-1 count after the swing and miss. Another swing, and again Wallace can't connect. Strike 3.
A really well executed fastball right there. He's just been doing that since he's taken the mound. He's had a lot of confidence in his fastball. He's been able to throw it where he wants. It's been really tough for the Australian hitters to catch up with that fastball.
4th strikeout for Moon, and he is done as both of these teams appear to be playing out different strategies. 20 pitch threshold is where South Korea is going to substitute their pitchers.
Yeah, you mentioned different strategies, and everyone, all the coaches probably come with an idea of what they want to do. Clearly, South Korea is trying to stay at that 20 pitch, and they want their pitchers to be available to come back tomorrow. Where we've seen Australia, if it's not broke, don't fix it. They're allowing guys to go a little bit deeper into that pitch count. It could be that, one team feels like they have a little bit more pitching depth. The other team feels like they want to keep everyone available. But that's the unique thing when you come to a tournament like this, the kind of strategy that each manager has.
So Moon moves positions after facing 5 batters and fanning 4 of them. And we've got some shuffling. Hyunjin Kim, who hit the 2-run home run in the 1st inning and was the catcher to start this contest, is now the pitcher. He works with Soha Kim behind the plate. Again, the thresholds here. Seemingly, Australia is going to utilize the 35 pitch threshold and be okay with having to rest guys one day after outings. So far, South Korea has played it very tightly on that 20 pitch threshold. So perhaps as they go throughout the week, Kevin, they're looking to kind of have the same blueprint, almost an inning per pitcher as they make their way through this tournament.
We've talked about South Korea being here before, multiple years. They know what the tournament format looks like. They know as you get deeper into the tournament how valuable fresh arms are. You could tell that they're kind of almost babying the idea of we want to keep everyone available.
Hard hit, backhanded play from shortstop and a strong throw. Young-in Cho with a great defensive play for out number 2.
Yeah, that's a tremendous play right there. Really hard hit ball right there in the 6-hole. Really good job by Cho getting around this ball, getting his backhand, getting his feet set, and a really strong, accurate throw. The base runner is indicating he might be safe. He had no idea the shortstop had that type of arm.
Ethan Zunchin's now the batter for Australia with 2 away. Zunchin's reached on an error his first time up. That was in the 1st inning. He hit a bouncer up the middle, that time opposite way, a foul ball.
Well, just think about from our perspective. This is our 2nd time doing this together. How much more prepared or how much we know now, because we've done it before. The South Korean team's been through this tournament before. Yeah. They know what it's like when you have to play multiple games in the same day and you get deeper in the week. They understand how to use their pitching. Where Australia is here for the first time, and rightfully so, they're playing to win this game. If they have a guy on the mound that they feel like is effective, that gives them the best opportunity to win, they're going to kind of figure out how to piece the tournament together, where Korea's kind of come in with this game plan already.
Fouled back, now 2-2 to Zunchin's. Whose favorite player you saw, Curtis Mead.
You love to see it.
Well, it matters, right? You think about yourself at 13 years old. Who were the guys you looked up to? Probably the ones within proximity.
Absolutely.
The ones who gave you an indication that someone who is from where you are from could do it.
No doubt. I mean, I grew up in Southern California, so I was a Dodger fan, but people always ask me who was like the guy that you know, was kind of your role model. But to me, it was Vin Scully. When he talked about guys, not only for the Dodgers, but other teams that were, you know, from high schools nearby, it made me a believer that I could do it too.
Spinner misses high.
So for these kids from Australia, when they start to see this influx of Australian players get to the major leagues, it makes them a believer that they can do it too.
Full count. Kim's pitch laced out to center field, but right to a man. And it retires the side. A bit later this week. So-Ha Kim, the leadoff batter, as it's 3-4-5 in the order for South Korea. And he was hit by the first pitch. Zach Gratton still out there on the mound for Australia.
Yeah, always a scary thing when you get a ball up and in. It looked like, very fortunately, it just grazed kind of that C-flat part of the helmet right there. Goes with that fastball that kind of gets away with him. And yeah, it looks like it just grazed the helmet. You talked about earlier in the game the importance of kind of turning your back and lowering the bat. Thankfully, the South Korean hitter was able to turn away from that pitch.
Runner takes off. First pitch swinging. Hyunjun Kim fouls it away. Kim with a 2-run home run back in the first inning that got this one started on the right foot for South Korea.
Looked like he was trying to hit a second one right there.
And there's a move to first. Here's another look at the home run from the first inning by Kim.
Just a nice, easy, smooth, flat swing right there. And when he hit it, he knew he got it. That ball got out in a hurry.
Gratton with an 0-1. Again fouled back after his teammate had taken off from first. You saw him laughing. The two are kind of exchanging.
Yeah, he's probably telling his teammate at first base, hey, did you not see my first at bat? Just stay put. You don't have to run. I'll let you trot around the bases.
Gratton's got him 0-2 though. Runner takes off. And it's a foul ball.
Well, what it is to be young. 3 consecutive steal attempts right there. And I'm probably going to say he's probably going to go a 4th time.
Stays put at first, and the pitch misses up and inside.
We've talked about 2 different kind of strategies right here. We're looking at a pitcher with 41 pitches, but has been very effective.
There goes the runner, Kim. It's off the handle and floats down to the ground, foul.
Yeah, at this point, you got to wonder, are the hitter and the guy at first base, are they friends? Or is he doing this on purpose?
Hyunjun Kim battling with 2 strikes. He's fouled off a couple. There goes the runner again, and again it's fouled out of play.
I really like what I've seen in these 2 at-bats from Kim. Obviously, it's easy to say I love the home run swing, but there's a very aggressive swing right there with 2 strikes. But we've also seen the curveball, him kind of do whatever he has to do to fight it off. It's not just he's swinging for the fences. He looks like he has really good ability to hit, fight off tough pitches.
7th pitch to Kim. Runner goes again. He takes, and it's a called strike 3. So-Ha Kim moves to second on the stolen bag.
Yeah, you drop a perfect 0-2 pitch right here. This fastball starts off the plate and kind of runs back over the plate, freezes Kim at the plate. A much needed first out right there.
So-Ha Kim finally got to advance to second base. So runner in scoring position for Jihan Lee. Kim takes off again, trying to steal third, and he's in safely.
Very aggressive base running from Kim right there. They say if you don't succeed the first time, try again, but he just didn't give up on the second try. He went 8 times. But he's obviously got a very good feel for what he wants to do when he's on the bases. Him getting on base, he feels like he can advance, be super aggressive, steals third base pretty easily right there.
Line drive out to center field, and it drops. So Kim trots in from third and makes it 4-0 South Korea as Lee gets to second on the hit.
And that's the importance of once you're able to get on base right there, if you feel confident in stealing bases and advancing right there, regardless of what happened in the outfield right there, that was going to score a run regardless. In terms of the center fielder right there, you have to understand how deep you are in the outfield right there. Right there, he understands there's a runner at third base. He's probably thinking, I might have to make a play home right there. Takes his eye off maybe to see what the runner's doing. Misplays the ball a little bit right there. Understanding your position in the outfield, how deep you are. He was probably too deep to make a play right there. Your focus becomes on the baseball, make a play, kind of concede that runner going from third to home.
Min Soo Kim, 0 for 1 with a strikeout so far. There goes the runner, and that is yanked high and deep. No doubt about it, it's gone. Another 2-run shot for South Korea, and now the lead is 6-0.
That's just a really compact swing right there. Gets a pitch right over the heart of the plate. Beautiful swing and does not miss it. And he hit that ball a long way. When that ball left his bat, there was nobody in this stadium that didn't think this ball was going to go out.
Second 2-run homer of the day for South Korea. And it's another 3-spot here in the fourth, but they've still got 2 outs to work with.
We've talked a little bit about Australia's first time here, the inexperience. Both times we've seen these home runs have come off of kind of mistakes, right? And when you don't have the experience of playing at this magnitude, it's easy to kind of compound a mistake, lose a little bit of focus, your attention goes somewhere else. Both home runs have come off of kind of one by the misplay by the catcher, the other one by the center fielder right here. That's just lack of experience, where the South Korean team has been here before and they're able to capitalize on those mistakes.
2-0 the count as Moon takes another on the 50th pitch by Zach Gratton.
And despite nothing really going Australia's way right now, the game is still within reach. Right now, you got to kind of dig deep. You got to take some deep breaths. Understand, we still got 3 turns to hit. We still got 9 outs to work with. We got to just kind of execute our pitches right here. Get the offense back up there with this game still within reach.
Ball 4, Sunghyun Moon reaches for the first time today.
Time!
And a timeout called from the Australia dugout. Andrew Kuzner is the head coach. And Gratton's day is done. It looks like it'll be Harrison Malik on to pitch next. Six to nothing the count in favor of South Korea here. Malik takes the mound to face Kang-Yul Kim. Runner goes on the strike call. And the slide stopped and then stepped over the tag. Sunghyun Moon with a little bit of craftiness on the short slide here.
Yeah, he had a really good jump right there. I think he would have been in there with the slide. I think his leg just got caught a little bit on the dirt right there. Very fortunate to be safe.
It's away to the backstop. Moon from second to third now.
Yeah, South Korea has made it very apparent in this game that they're going to be very aggressive on the base pass. Sometimes as a team that's maybe not as familiar with, you know, the rules of picking off and how to kind of mitigate the run game, South Korea is kind of exposing it a little bit.
1-1 to Kim, who walked his first time up today. Squared to bunt, but didn't go after it, so it misses outside 2-1. Offered at it, that's strike 2.
Be interested here to see if Australia brings the infield in. Down 6 runs right now, a little bit later in the game, but it looks like they're going to keep the infield back.
Yeah, conventional depth. Malik's 2-2 is off the mark, and it's a full count. Ball 4. And they're at the corners. Consecutive walks, including the hit batter to begin this frame. 3 free passes.
Yeah, in a tournament like this, at this age group, you got to continue to pound the strike zone, trust your defense. Even if the defense behind you makes mistakes, doesn't make plays, you have to continue to put a lot of trust in your teammates right here. You can't allow free passes, especially with the way South Korea is running the bases.
Big lead for Kim at first. He goes for second. The throw down. Intercepted at short. Back to home plate. And the tag not applied. So Moon scores. It's 7-0 South Korea.
Really well executed by Australia right there, knowing that South Korea is going to be aggressive. They have a play on to throw to this short cutoff man right here. Shortstop does a great job delivering the strike home. And just an even better slide by the base runner right there. I think it's closer. Very good call by the umpire right there.
Now a runner at third again. And the batter, Sojun Choi, perhaps looking to bunt, still just 1 out.
There was a time many years ago where that base runner would have been out because the catchers were taught to be a little bit more aggressive and kind of putting that shin guard down in front of home plate. The rules have changed a little bit where the catcher can block the plate. It allows the base runner to be even more athletic and kind of maneuver around the tag.
Two and 1 to Choi. Foul back. So 2 balls, 2 strikes.
At some point, too, Australia and their coaches are going to have to make a decision. Down 7 runs in the 4th inning right now. Do you feel confident if the batter's able to put a ball in play right here to give up another run? I'm surprised the infield isn't playing in right here to try to eliminate that run from scoring.
Malik's 2-2 elicits a swing and a miss. And that's strike 3, a big second out with that runner at third.
And that's one way to take care of it. Infield, stay back. I'll take care of it on the mound right there. Sometimes you just got to bear down deep, execute a pitch right there. Well executed fastball down and away. Still the best pitch in baseball.
Young Hoo Kim tries to bunt, pops it up foul territory, and it drops. Wasn't up there long. Spratt didn't really know where it was until it fell.
That's an extremely difficult position for the catcher to be in right now. He's got all the gear on. He's focused on having to block a ball if it's in the dirt, runner at third base. He's calling the game. That ball's popped up. He's got all this iron he's got to look through. You got to try to get that mask off as soon as possible. Hope the pitcher can kind of point you in the direction, but that ball didn't have a lot of hang time right there. Very difficult play for the catcher.
Sales high, 2-1. I think I said Spratt. I believe that's Harding behind the plate now for Australia. We've had some, with the pitching changes, some defensive maneuvering. Gets by him into the backstop, play at the plate, and the run scores. It's a short backstop, but Kim took off with good enough of a jump to come in and make it 8-0.
Yeah, it's hard as the pitcher. You're trying to execute your pitch. He was a little late covering right there. He misses just up in the zone right there. Tough pitch for the catcher to receive right there. Pitcher's a little bit late recovering, covering home plate right there. Allows the 8th run to score and the 5th run of the inning to score.
Ball 4 misses behind the batter, Kim, so he walks to get a man back on for South Korea. Now Ji-Hun Shin on a pitch out, takes, and second base is stolen.
Once again, the very aggressive base running from the South Korean players. At some point, Australia is just going to have to continually pick over to first base, either tire out the base runner, let him know we know you're trying to run, maybe execute a slide step pitch out. Once the catcher is able to throw one runner out, it kind of puts doubt into the base runner's minds.
And in scoring position, fastball up and in, and it's 2-0 to Shin. Now 3-0.
It's been interesting too, the South Korean lineup. At the top, you see a lot of contact and some power. As you get a little bit lower in the lineup, you're seeing a lot of fake bunts, trying to play a little bit more small ball. They're really trying to get that lineup turned over.
Runner goes, and the pitch misses down and in. So from second to third for the base runner, and it's ball 4. Shin walks, they're at the corners. That's 4 out of the last 5 batters for South Korea have drawn walks.
Yeah, we find ourselves in a situation right here, first and third. I would almost guarantee that the South Korean runner at first base is going to be off.
Well, that's the thing about the walks. It's not just a one-bag gift. Here he goes. The throw down to second is in time. Tag applied, and that retires the side. Another 2-run home run. Min-Soo Kim this time en route to a 5-run 4th.
It's a beautiful swing right there, an absolute no-doubter. Runs on 4 hits is there's got to be a lot of free passes, and we keep going back to the idea you just got to throw strikes in a tournament like this at this age. If it said 8 runs and 20 hits, you could live with yourself. You could be like, hey, you know what, they earned it. But when you were giving up free passes, especially the way South Korea is running the bases, because not only are they getting a free pass at first base, they're turning that into a double and sometimes a triple.
By my count, in that 5-run 4th for South Korea, 4 walks, 6 stolen bases. Left side of the infield. Picked at third. The throw across is in time. So one away. Infield seems like a tough assignment so far today. I mean, even something pretty well struck seemingly is dying pretty quickly.
Yeah, I watched both teams take their pregame infield, and that was the one thing that I noticed when the coaches were hitting the ball, and we've seen it in the game now, that anything hit on the infield grass is kind of getting swallowed up a little bit. We watched that one ball hit in the 6-hole right there that was smoke, but it felt like its first hop was on the grass, and it just allowed the ball to die enough for the shortstop to make a great play. I think regardless of what happens for Australia moving forward in this tournament, playing a team like Korea that's been so aggressive on the base pass, I think there's a lot that the team could learn about how to hold runners on at first base, keep runners in check at second base, different sort of things that they can do to kind of mitigate the aggressive style that teams may try to implement against them.
I think something, too, that's important at this level, Kevin, is kind of staying on the ready and never losing your focus, right? Baseball is a game that to a consumer, to a viewer, a spectator can have some lulls, but this is evidence that, hey, as a player, you have to remain locked in.
Yeah, and that goes back to the point, even more important why the pitcher has to throw strikes, because you have 7 other guys minus your catcher, or 8 guys minus your catcher, on the field kind of relying on you to be around the zone to allow the other team to put it in play so that you're always staying constantly engaged. When there's free pass and walk after walk, it is hard as a baseball player to keep your focus.
2 strikes, and Brock Harding fouls it out of play to stay alive at 2-2.
So even little things like that foul ball, if you watch everyone in the field, everyone kind of gravitated towards moving right, towards the right field line, because they're engaged. South Korea's done a really good job of being around the zone.
Another 2-2 and another foul ball.
Even when you get swings, and even if they're swings and misses, the fielders are so much taught to kind of anticipate where that swing's going to go, and they're moving. But when you're not even getting a swing of the bat, the defense starts to get on their heels a little bit, and then when the ball's hit to them, that's when mistakes are happening, when you lose a little focus.
High fly ball out into center field, and that's out number 2 as Harding is retired.
Long way for the center fielder to run right there, but once again, we're talking about the importance of pounding the strike zone, throwing strikes, keeping your fielders engaged out there. The fact that he's been around the strike zone allows your center fielder right there to be able to come in. Run a long way and record an out.
And we'll see another pitching change at that 20-pitch threshold for South Korea. 2 away in the top of the 5th inning. 8-0 South Korea leads. We'll step aside. Harrison Malik will be the batter. His only plate appearance so far in this game was a leadoff walk in the 2nd. Now 2-0.
Yeah, if you're players from Australia right now, you may feel like this game has gotten a little out of hand, and we talked about it in our opening. It had the importance of getting off to a good start. But even if you're unable to win the first game, you still have life. You can still go on a run and still win this thing. So you got to find some small victories right here. You got to find some positives to allow you to go into your next game feeling a little bit more confident.
3 balls and 1 strike to Malik. And that's ball 4, so a 2-out walk. Second walk of the day for Malik, puts a man on for Harvey Ingram.
Now batting for Australia, number 7, Harvey Ingram.
Yeah, when you're down 8 runs in a situation right now, I don't think you necessarily need to think about base runners. I think you need to just be aggressive right now. Find something to get motivated right now. I think right now the game would tell you, hey, let's take till we get a strike right now. I'd like to see this hitter come up, be super aggressive right now, swing the bat. But once again, if the pitcher's not throwing strikes, you got to be very patient. But if he puts something over the heart of the plate, I would love to see him swing the bat right here.
Ingram fouls it back. Did you see his special talent there?
No, I missed it. I was trying to kind of manifest the swing right here, which he did.
I get it. He says his special talent is annoying his sister.
I mean, that's a great special talent to have.
Are there transferable skills to be like a pesky hitter and foul off pitches with 2 strikes? As he sends that one high into right field, and it's called for and caught by Kang-Yul Kim. That retires the side in the lineup. Due up for South Korea. And a 1-0 count for Jung-Eun Kim. 0 for 1 with a ground ball to first so far today. And he takes another, so it's 2-0. Harrison Malik still pitching for Australia. And finds the strike zone.
Continue to throw strikes. Down 8-0 right now. We've seen how aggressive South Korea is when they get on base. Make them earn their way on through a hit.
Hey, throw it downhill, Malik. Downhill, kid. Here we go.
And 1 offered at. And now a full count.
Go right back to it. No reason to overthink it. Try to trick them. Throw your best fastball over the plate. Make them earn it.
Fought off. And the count stays full.
Great job by the batter right there, too. The more times that you can kind of spoil a really good pitch by the pitcher, it's hard to repeat it as a pitcher.
And ball 4. So leadoff batter is aboard for South Korea. That's now 5 of the last 6 batters for them drawing walks.
It would be a big problem regardless, but when you have the aggressive base running of South Korea and you're turning those walks into extra base hits, it becomes a really big problem.
Tim back to the bag safely on the pickoff.
But I love to see the adjustment right here by Australia. When you know a team's going to be super aggressive running the bases, you're going to have to show the ability to throw over to first base. Change your delivery. He used the slide step right there.